for UFC Fight Night Belfort versus Gastelum. Let's start at the bottom. The first fight is Gareth McClellan versus Paulo Costa. And Paulo looks like a really solid up-and-comer. He looks like a really good striker with some decent takedown defense. I don't think Gareth McClellan's going to be able to beat this guy. It kind of looks like they're just trying to give a guy on his way out to a young up-and-comer. I think Paulo's going to be able to win this fight by knockout, probably in the first round. Next is Hani Jason versus Jeremy Kennedy, and Jeremy Kennedy looks like a really good up-and-comer. I think he's got good skills everywhere, striking, wrestling, jiu-jitsu. Hani Jason, he's got good striking, good jiu-jitsu, and I think this fight is super close. I'm going to go with Jason, though. I just feel like he's fought the better people. He's been around longer, and I think that I think Kennedy likes taking fights to the ground, and I think if this fight's on the ground, Hani's going to have a big advantage. And I think sooner or later, Hani's going to catch him with a submission. Next is Michael Pizarris versus Josh Berkman, and I really want Josh Berkman to win this fight. I really like Josh Berkman. I just don't know if he will. I think Michael Pizarris is just too good with his takedown defense, and I think that his striking's been getting better and better. I think Josh Berkman's a little too old at this point, and he's fighting at lightweight. I think he's just a little too slow too in general. I really want to pick Josh Berkman. I just don't see any way he wins this fight unless he gets lucky and catches Michael Pizarris. So I'm going to pick Michael Pizarris to win by decision, like how he always wins, because he's boring as hell, but whatever. Next is Hani Yahya versus Joe Soto, and to me, these two guys, grappling-wise, are probably about even. I think that Joe Soto's probably just a little bit better with his submissions overall. He's got more diverse submissions. But I think wrestling and jiu-jitsu, these guys are about even. But I think Joe Soto's the much better, significantly better striker. I also think his conditioning is significantly better than Hani Yahya's. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think it's going to be back and forth up until the point where Hani Yahya starts to get really tired. And I think at that point, Joe Soto's probably going to be able to finish him, I think. I don't know if he'll be able to submit him, but I think he'll be able to get mount or something and win by TKO. Next is Sergio Moraes versus Davi Ramos, and Davi's taking this fight on super short notice. He's basically a jiu-jitsu guy, and Sergio Moraes is not the guy you want to fucking grapple with, and I feel bad for this dude, Davi, because he's taking this fight on super short notice, but there's no way that he wins this fight. Sergio Moraes is going to get a takedown sooner or later, win by submission in the first round. There's just a huge gap in their jiu-jitsu ability. Next is Francisco Trinaldo versus Kevin Lee, and Kevin Lee's been doing pretty good. He's on a pretty solid upswing right now, but I think Francisco Trinaldo is just too high level right now. I think his striking is better than Kevin Lee's. I think his takedown defense has been looking really good. I think as long as Francisco Trinaldo paces himself, he should win a decision in this fight, and that's just how I see this fight playing out. Next is Alex Oliveira versus Tim Means. And this is a fight that happened not that long ago. Tim Means was throwing some super illegal fucking knees at Alex Oliveira. And in my opinion, that fight should have been a disqualification because the rules were if one of your knees was touching the ground, you're a downed opponent. And he hit him with 4 knees and said it was on purpose. And like the guy said after the fight, it should have been disqualification right then and there. But whatever, they're redoing it because it was a no contest. And to me, I think that the only problem with Alex Oliveira in that first fight was he was a little inefficient with his energy. I think if he's more economical, I think he should be able to win this fight. He was looking better, in my opinion. He was just putting the gas on too much of his shit, and he was starting to gas a little bit. I think if he's more patient, I think he should be able to win this fight. So I'm going to pick Alex Oliveira to win by submission probably in the first round. Next is Bethe Correia versus Marion Renaud. And to me, Marion Renaud is not that good. I think that she's just kind of okay. I think she's basically a jiu-jitsu chick with some striking. I think Bethe Correia is way better. I just feel like she's going to be able to outstrike her and stuff the takedowns for the most part. And I think she's going to win a decision just because neither one of these chicks has great knockout power. I just don't think Marion Renaud is going to be able to take Bethe Correia down. And Bethe Correia is the better striker overall. Next is Jussier Formiga versus Ray Borg. And to me, I feel like this is just a fight between two grapplers, and Jussier Formiga, in my opinion, his striking's been looking better and better every single fight. So, if this fight stays standing, I think Jussier Formiga is going to be able to light him up, and I think if this fight hits the ground, his jiu-jitsu is just better than Ray Borg's grappling overall. I think, Ray Borg in his last fight, he missed weight by 5 fucking pounds, and it was a little irritating. But whatever. I think that, you know, he's showing that he can't make this weight I don't think much longer, because he's pretty young, and I think the older you get, you know, it's just hard to make that weight. I think that Jussier Formiga is going to be able to, you know, stuff the takedowns and just out-grapple this guy for 3 rounds, and I think Jussier Formiga is going to win by decision. Next is Edson Barboza versus Beneil Dariush. And Dariush, his striking's been looking better and better every single fight, but he's still primarily a jiu-jitsu guy, and he's not a great wrestler. I think Edson Barboza is the much better striker, technically, and I think that he'll be able to kind of use his speed and technique to just stay on the outside of Dariush and win a decision. I feel like we already saw Michael Johnson do this, and I feel like, you know, Michael Johnson beat Edson Barboza, but he was fighting different. He was being super aggressive in that fight. And then when Michael Johnson fought Beneil Dariush, he was fighting more like how Edson Barboza fights. And I feel like Barboza does that, but better. That technical, like, staying out on the outside kind of fighting. And I feel like Michael Johnson won that fight pretty clearly when he fought Dariush, even though he lost a split decision. It was kind of horseshit, but whatever. I think Edson Barboza is going to do the same thing, except for I think Edson Barboza is going to win a decision. Next is Shogun Rua versus Gil Vellante. And, you know, to me, Shogun Rua's won his last 2, and they were both against guys that, in my opinion, are better than Gil Vellante. I know Gil Vellante beat Corey Anderson, but I feel like Corey Anderson's gotten much better since that loss. I feel like Gil Vellante is just this kind of brawler dude, and with some decent takedown defense. I don't think his conditioning is very good, and I feel like the longer fights go, the less he just becomes shittier as the fights go on. He's just okay. He's in the top 15 just because the light heavyweight division is kind of shitty right now. I feel like Shogun Rua, as long as he doesn't get caught in like the first round with something big and crazy, he should be able to beat this guy. I think his grappling is better, and I think that his conditioning is better. I think that Shogun Rua will get through the first round, and somewhere in the second he's going to win by knockout. Finally, we got the main event, Vitor Belfort versus Kevin Gastelum. And in my opinion, people are saying Vitor's done. I don't think he's done. I mean, he lost his last 2, but they were both against really good guys. He lost to Gegard and Chakere. I feel like Kevin Gastelum's even said it himself, size matters, and he's way smaller than Vitor. And Vitor doesn't have horrible takedown defense. I mean, you know, he's been taken down, but against guys that are really fucking good. And guys who are a little bit bigger than him, in my opinion. Kelvin Gastelum's smaller, and not only that, but I think Vitor definitely has a speed advantage over Kelvin. And, I mean, I think people are going to count Vitor out of this fight, but I agree with Kelvin when he says he's a welterweight fighting a middleweight, and Vitor Belfort is pretty solid middleweight, in my opinion. And I just feel like sooner or later, Vitor's going to hit him with a counter punch or a counter knee when he shoots in for a takedown or something like that, and I think he's going to win by knockout in the first round. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe.